You're listening to Boobies and Noobies, brought to you by the Frolic Podcast Network. Welcome to Boobies and Noobies, the podcast that asks novice romance readers to think outside the dick in a box and brave the unbridled world of erotica. I'm your host, Kelly Reynolds, and it is time for the second installment in our Slick Summer Nights series. Join us all of July for an epic showdown of smexiness as contestants share their favorite steamy excerpts for a, shall we say, non-biased judge. Be sure to follow Boobies and Noobies on social media at Boobies Podcast, as we'll be sharing the Slick Summer Nights results all month long. And you, the listeners, can help determine the ultimate champion, the Sexcerpt Grand Supreme, by voting for your favorites on the Boobies and Noobies Instagram. As per usual, you can always catch up on past episodes of Boobies and Noobies on your favorite podcatcher or on boobiesandnoobies.com. If you're a fan of the show and you'd like my undying love and devotion, you might consider leaving Boobies and Noobies a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And last but not least, if you're in the mood to show this indie podcaster a little extra love and support, please consider joining our Patreon. We've got monthly patron-only events, early sneak peeks at what we're reading next, and so much more. And you gain instant access to it for as little as $1 per month. You'll find links for all of the above in today's show notes. And now, let the showdown begin. It's time to meet today's competitors. In one corner, or perhaps I should say on one page, we've got USA Today bestselling author Rebecca Hefner. Rebecca, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to be here.
So glad to have you. And facing off against Rebecca, it's Kat, bookstagrammer, book talker, and host of Kat Reads Romance on BookTube. Welcome, Kat.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Ladies, I'm thrilled to have you. Before you tell us a little bit more about yourselves and the books you've selected for today's showdown, please let me introduce today's judge, Ariana. Now, listeners might know Ariana for her previous appearances on Boobies and Noobies, but you might also know Ariana for her Instagram account, Ariana Reads Books, where she shares killer book-inspired makeup designs along with romance reviews. Ariana, welcome back.
Hi, Kelly. Anytime you want to have me, I'm here.
I will say to everybody listening that a few of us are not in our best health form today, so please excuse any sexy throat clearing, coughing, all those delicious things that come with the change of seasons. But setting that aside, I'm excited to be here with all of you. Why don't you each tell the fine folks listening at home a little bit about you and your relationship with the romance genre? And Rebecca, why don't you kick things off?
Sure. So I am a romance author. I'm an indie author, and I have my own publishing LLC. I've been publishing for about 3.5 years now, and I have, I think, 22 books published. I kind of lost count after 20, but so somewhere around there. And I write paranormal and sci-fi steamy romance under Rebecca Hefner, and then I also write steamy contemporary romance under Ayla Asher. And there's a whole long story as to why I have 2 different pen names, but I do enjoy having 2 different pen names, and it helps me find different readers who maybe only read in one subgenre. So, but I do claim them both publicly, and so if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you'll see me talk about both books. And I love romance. I used to sneak into my mom's bedroom when I was young and read her Judith McNaught novels. That will show you how old I am. And I used to volunteer at my library and read all the novels there. So I just think eventually it made sense that I would start to write my own stories after reading probably thousands of romance novels. And I'm an avid reader and an author. So thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here. This is going to be really fun.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and do you have any upcoming releases you want to promote at all?
So I actually just released a book, I think 2 weeks ago, last week. I can't remember, but obviously I know no details about my life is what I'm figuring out. But I just had one come out called Garridan's Mate. So it's actually a novella. It's book number 6.5 in my Etheria's Earth paranormal romance series, which is kind of like my flagship paranormal romance series under Rebecca Hefner. And so that one just came out, but that series is best read in order. So for anyone listening, I have a freebie prequel that starts off the series called The Dawn of Peace. And it's actually free in ebook or audio on my website. And it's also free on Amazon in ebooks. So you could go to RebeccaHefner.com. And that's what I would suggest you start with, because that, it's a prequel and it'll kind of get you into the series. It's enemies to lovers, vampire slayer, forced proximity, only one dead. There you go.
Ooh, vampires.
All the great things.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and romance readers love free books, and romance readers love a series to binge. So there you go.
There you go.
Kat, how about over to you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about your relationship with romance?
Oh my gosh, romance is literally my favorite thing in the world besides my family. I started reading Danielle Steele in high school, and then read a lot of fiction and stuff, and then wound up reading a book we all read, and it got me into the world, and I was like, oh my God, there's love stories out there. And being able to go through something with a couple and get a happily ever after and get all the juicy parts in between is what got me hooked. So the book that I'm going to share today was actually one of the very first romance series that I read. And it was in 2014 this book came out, and it's still the book that I go back to all the time. It's my favorite.
Love to hear it. Well, and what was the book that we all read? Because I feel like it could be Twilight. It could be 50 Shades of Grey. I feel like it's always a toss-up in...
It's both. Yes. It's both. Yep. I mean, I would lean more towards... I read both of them. I read, of course, Twilight first, but like, I'm an adult. I was an adult when I read it. So then I would say I would lean more towards 50 Shades of Grey is like reintroducing me to the genre.
Absolutely. As it did for so many of us. So welcome to the family.
Right. Yes.
Ariana, how about you, my dear? Why don't you tell the fine folks listening at home about you and your relationship with romance?
I've always loved romance. When I was little, my grandparents would drop me off at the library in the summer, and I would always go and find the steamiest romance that I was not supposed to be reading and sit down and read it all day. And then in high school, I had a very tumultuous relationship with fan fiction and Wattpad, and and that kind of led me into indie romance later, and that's where I am now. I read 50 Shades when I was like 12.
Oh God, Ariana, I'm like way older than you. Oh my gosh.
I'm way older than Ariana.
Yeah, I'm going to be 23 this year.
Oh my God, you're my daughter's age.
We've got multiple generations of romance readers here.
I love that.
Yes, it's so awesome. And romance for me is a celebration, a form of empowerment, and a great way to take your mind off of what's going on around you. So that's why I love romance.
Awesome. Amen. Well, I am excited for all three of you to be here, especially, I know this is our second episode, but I will just disclose to listeners, it is the first one we're recording. So I'm extra excited just to launch Slick Summer Nights with all of you here. So on to the reading, I will ask you, in your opinion, what makes for a good, memorable, steamy scene in a romance book? Because I know it's subjective. I know that we each have our own opinions for what constitutes super steamy and why we like it so much. So let's start with Kat this time.
I think, and I'll just preface by saying that my husband and I have been together more than half of our lives, and we are celebrating our 26th wedding anniversary this month.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
Pause for applause.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that being said, I think for me, it's maybe something that I haven't experienced before, or something that's like, oh, that might be fun. So maybe something like that, keeping things spicy.
Yeah.
I guess in a way.
I think that's true for a lot of people. I think a lot of people, I especially love seeing videos and posts about people talking about how they read romance with their partner, or they share like what they read with their partner. And I love it. I think it can be a great relationship enhancement tool if you decide to use it that way.
I have begged him to read this series. I'm like, we'll read it together. And he's like, no. He's like, you do it, you let me know. I'm like, okay.
There you go. You can just tell him the story yourself. You read it, and then if you don't want to read it with me, guess what? You're going to have to listen to me talk about it with you.
Yes.
Ariana, how about for you? What makes for a good steamy scene in your opinion?
Well, let me tell you guys, I'm going to be judging off of vibes. I do not have any particular criteria. I just love when everybody is getting pleasure and everybody's worried about each other's pleasure, and everybody's letting loose and just having a good time. That's my favorite type of scene, is when everybody is just vocal about what they want and they get it.
Quick and dirty. Simple.
Exactly.
Love it. Rebecca, how about you?
Yeah, I'm on Ariana's page. I'm on Kat's page too. I mean, yeah, I think it's the fantasy. I love so I mean, I'm in my mid 40s. I'm single. I'm child free by choice, but like I still believe in love and happy afters, all that stuff, and I love the fantasy of it. And I also I do love a very detailed steamy scene. I also write them that way. Yeah, so because I just feel like it like really immerses you in there. So like I don't know. I mean I'm like I find that I read authors who are really descriptive in their scenes because I feel like that really helps me imagine it more. So you know, there I feel like there is a difference between like Open Door where they do it and then it's done, and then there's like they're really getting in there, and like that's what I like. I don't know. I think that makes it really steamy. So. That's what I like.
It's like Open Door versus Open Sheets.
Yes.
Like pull those sheets
There
back.
you go. Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
For sure.
I like it. We're going to trademark, copyright that term immediately.
Open sheets, yes.
That's a good one.
Open sheets. Okay. Well, contestants, I'm going to ask you each to please go ahead and introduce the books you'll be reading from today, the name, the author, and maybe a little bit about each one. So, Rebecca, let's go ahead and start with you.
Sure. Okay, so I picked an excerpt from Beyond Control by Kit Rocha, which is, so it's part of the Beyond series. It's book 2 in the Beyond series. And I think this is probably my favorite series ever. I mean, it's one of them, definitely. And so book 2 is about Lexi, who's like a very complex, badass heroine. And Dallas is her love interest, but it's actually, it's like a sci-fi futuristic romance, and they live on this compound, and they just all kind of get with each other, and that enhances the pleasure for everyone. And so that's the scene that I chose.
Great. I for one can't wait to hear it. And I have to commend everyone who's participating in Slick Summer Nights for choosing so many books that I haven't read yet, because you're just adding to my summer reading personally. So it's selfish, but I appreciate it.
Love it.
Kat, how about you? Let's hear about your book, and then we will dive into our readings.
Sure. Okay, so I chose Stanton Adore by T.L. Swan. She's my queen. She's my go-to author. I've read all her books. This book in particular, it's her first book ever. And I can't even count now. Maybe she's got 12 or 14 books now. So it was released in 2014, and it follows a couple, and there are 5 books in the series, including like a little epilogue. And I love that kind of epic romance journey. So this starts at the very beginning of their relationship when they're young, and then it follows them. The series follows all the way through till like they're in their 30s and everything like that. And so I really like that kind of journey and the way she took us on it with them.
I love it. An epic love story across books. You got to, that's like a commitment to read, because you're not just committing to like a series with like interconnected books. You're committing to one couple for multiple books.
That's my favorite kind of series to read. I want to go through that journey with them.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, before you do your readings, Ariana, as our unbiased judge for today's Slick Summer Night Showdown, can you confirm that you have not read either of these books?
I have not read either of these books.
Fantastic. That's about as unbiased as it's going to get on one of these episodes. Well, without further ado, then, let this showdown begin. Rebecca, the floor is yours.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna try to read this and not laugh like I'm 12 years old. So let's do it. Okay. Jasper rumbled his approval. Ace, get the rings. He melted away, and Dallas caught Lex's gaze, holding it through intensity alone. Not just for your nipples, love. Not this time. I bet Jasper's trying to decide whether he's going to shove Noelle's face between your thighs or just suck your clit himself. Someone's got to get it nice and hard. But Jasper didn't do either. He bent close to Lex and licked her cheek before whispering in her ear, "Your man doesn't have enough faith in my creativity." Lex shuddered as he straightened. The words dissolved into a groan as Jasper landed a sharp slap on her pussy. Lex shifted on the chair, the warm haze of pleasure already solidifying into a throb of need as she lifted her hips and waited for him to do it again. He grabbed Noelle's hair and pulled instead. Thank God my mother does not listen to this podcast. I'm sorry. Okay. I want everyone to listen to this podcast in the entire world except for my mother. I'm sorry. Okay.
My mother listens, so it's okay.
Why did you kill me? Okay. Whew. Take two. Okay. He grabbed Noelle's hair and pulled instead. Spread her open and spank her clit just like I did. And get your ass in the air so Dallas can watch how wet it makes you. Noelle's hand trembled as she petted Lex. Slow, soothing strokes at first, then deeper. As exposed as Lex had been before, this was 100 times more intense. Noelle's ass might have been on display, but Dallas's burning gaze fixed on her fingers as they parted Lex's pussy lips, as they opened her. He inhaled sharply, his fingers carving dents into the couch as Noelle's fingers fell in a gentle slap. Jasper twisted his hand, pulling Noelle's hair so hard it had to hurt. "What did I say?" She panted, her neck craned awkwardly back, but her expression blissful. And scene.
Ooh, hot damn.
Oh my God.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I counted Noelle, Lex, Dallas, Jasper.
Yeah, I think that's all that was in that 8-paragraph excerpt.
That's it.
There's
Just
more in the
four.
scene. There are more in the scene, but that's all in that excerpt.
Ooh, baby. Well, that's fun. That is fun. Without words, I enjoyed that. This is so weird. I'm not used to having people, I don't listen to audiobooks, and I'm not used to people reading me sex scenes. So
yes.
I, for one, am enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
For
Off
sure.
to a great start. Okay, Kat, over to you.
Okay. My scene might be a little bit longer than that, so we'll have to see. You might have to fan yourselves a little bit. Okay, here we go. And most of it is from Natasha's perspective, so, but it's obviously it's only 2 people in this one, sorry. Josh's kink is coming to life. We are making a porno. As Katy Perry's velvety voice sings the seductive words to Dark Horse, the addictive sexy music fills the room and my senses through the sound system. We start dancing to the sensual words that are being sung. Okay, how did I end up in an exclusive hotel it's definitely no celebration dinner. This is a planned seduction, and you know what? It's working. I'm totally seduced. This beautiful man is dancing sexily up to me, grinding against me, and pulling me onto his erection in a black dinner suit. His erotic demanding kisses and his pure dominance in his stance has me begging to be part of his kink world, begging me to please him. The words are hypnotic, applying just to us, the beat turning me inside out. He keeps our hips dancing to the slow beat, his eyes penetrating mine as his hands slowly start to move up my legs, lifting my dress for the cameras. He runs his finger along the garter strap as he rests his lips on my temple. He twirls me around suddenly to the music, and I laugh out loud. His lips are on me again, his teeth grazing my neck as his arousal level amps up a couple of notches. He lifts one of my legs and hooks it around his hip. I find that I'm holding my breath as I feel a rush of cream to my core and my nipples harden under his expert hands. His hand rubs from my knee to my behind, and he grabs it hard, grinding himself into me. His pupils dilate and his mouth is open. He cranes his neck, my eyes drop to his lips. He turns me so my back is to his front, and he continues the slow circular hip sway. I could come just from this. This man is the maestro of seduction. His hands caress my breast and follow my body as he gently starts to lift my dress. He kisses my neck and whispers into my ear, "Watch." My eyes drift to the screen before us, and I'm openly shocked at just how hot we look. His arousal level is off the charts. I can see it in his eyes. Not surprisingly, I look like I'm about to burst into an orgasm at any second. I can see through my lace panties and my thighs as he lifts my dress. He raises my arms so they're around his neck behind me as his hands drift down my body, each time lifting my dress and exposing my lingerie just a little bit more to the cameras. I can feel the pulse between my legs as I watch the two of us in IMAX erotically dance in time to the sexy music. The song finishes and starts again, and I smile at the realization. As realization hits that it's on repeat. He bends at the knees so he's lower than me, and he slides my legs open to the camera, slowly sliding his hands up my inner thighs. "I'm aching for my precious girl," he whispers in my ear. "I need to be inside her." He runs his fingertips over my lace panties and feels the shape of my most erotic core. "You're so wet for me, baby, dripping. Do you know how hard that makes me?" He's good, all right. "I can't wait to taste you," he whispers. My eyes flick to the screen, and he runs his fingers around the rim of my garter belt and bites my neck hard. Oh shit, I don't believe this. I whimper as an orgasm gently pulses through me. He kisses me passionately again and turns and pushes me up against the wall. "Fucking perfect," he whispers. The orgasm fog temporarily lifts, and I think to myself, fucking embarrassing, more like, I can't believe I came without him even touching me. He steps back from me, still while holding his hips to the music. He's such a good dancer. He gently starts to undo the bows of my dress one at a time. He's concentrating on the bows, looking down, and I feel his chin and pull his chin up to my face level. I need him to see what he means to me. His eyes meet mine, and he stops what he's doing and to put his hands on either side of my head on the wall. "Do you know how much I fucking adore you?" he whispers, and tears fill my eyes. He speaks the truth. I can feel it. He doesn't just adore me, he loves me. This isn't a sleazy stick film we're making. This is a declaration of our love. My tears start to flow freely as I grab him by the face and kiss him with everything I have. I need him to know how much I desperately love him, how desperately I need him. "Don't cry, baby," he whispers. "Just know that this is for us." He kisses me deeply. We will never be apart again.
Aww.
Okay, and I have like a couple more sheets, but I feel like I put little like marks where I thought was a good place to stop.
That was a great place to stop.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were all awing at the end.
Right. Right.
That was fun. Well, and they're both such different scenes because you have like group sex, like slap her pussy, and then you have like, I love that your scene began with, we're making a porno, because I was like, oh, this is like going in a whole new direction. And then it became like a tender, loving, like, oh, we're making this video like for ourselves kind of thing. So very different scenes. Ariana, I don't envy you the choice. I don't envy your job that you have to make this selection. But before you do, I just love to hear some feedback from all of you about those scenes.
I love to read group scenes because, you know, that's not happened to me lately, you know. Lately. What am I talking about? Ever.
It's not your Tuesday.
We're not here to judge.
I know. What I mean is that I don't read them more often. And Okay, I'll admit, I don't mind reading them. I want to read more of them.
Well, there you go. It sounds like that scene that you read, Rebecca. I'm going to guess that maybe there's more scenes like that in that series.
There are. It's so interesting because so even though they're in a post-apocalyptic future and they're trying to save the world, they just have these sex parties every week, and like that's
Awesome.
Because what else is there to do?
Priorities,
it's because you got to save the world, I guess. I mean, so yeah, but it's also like but they sort of do this with each other, and then like the two they kind of rev each other up, and then the two main love interests go off on their own. But it's like nice, they all just help each other out. I guess
Take one for the team.
I mean, you've got to fill that time, like when you're not out saving the world and building a better future. It's like, what else can we do?
Absolutely.
Well, those both sound like, by the way, two books in two series that I would be interested in reading that are also very outside of my comfort zone personally. What about you, Ariana?
Oh, this is my shit. Like you said, they're two very different scenes, but it's still two things that I'm very into. Like, I love why choose romance. I love romance with multiple partners, even if, there's an endgame couple. And then I love, like, the idea that they're making this tape. I think that's really hot and really fun. So both of them are very exciting in their own ways.
Yeah. Well, when it comes down to it, it's time for you to choose a winner, even though we all know that we're all winners here of this Slick Summer Night Showdown. And as a reminder, Rebecca shared Beyond Control by Kit Rocha. Kat shared Stanton Adore by T.L. Swan. So, Ariana, have you made your decision?
I think I have. I'm definitely going to be reading both of these books. So like Kelly said, we are all winners here. Don't worry about that. I really loved how Kat's book had the hero who was very descriptive. He used a lot of words. I really felt like I was there. Like I was watching the film. Like it was they were talking about everything. But then in Rebecca's book, there were so many parts and I could definitely visualize exactly what was going on. So I'm going to have to give it to Rebecca because I'm just a whore for group sexy.
Same.
Perfectly said.
Yes.
But they're both so good.
Yeah, they were both very good. I was thinking about like if I chose like which one it would be. And I was like, I'm torn because I feel like Rebecca's has more like graphic group sex, but Kat's, I like the idea of them filming themselves and, it's very intimate. It's just a great testament that like, just because a scene is like super hot doesn't mean that it also can't be like romantic.
Agreed.
And progress
Yes.
the romantic relationship as well as the physical relationship in a book. So I
Pushing
liked that
boundaries.
too. So this would have been a hard choice for me. Yeah.
Yeah, there was Katy Perry there.
Right?
It was like a lot.
You will never hear Dark Horse again and not think about that scene.
Never.
Yes.
That's right.
I haven't even read the book.
Oh, that's so funny. I will screenshot it when it comes on the radio, and I will send her a DM and be like, T, it's on again. And it's like, there we are. We all know.
That's awesome.
I love that. I haven't even read the book, and just from you reading that specific scene, I will have that Katy Perry like memory attached to it.
Yep.
You've changed my life today.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, what a fun showdown. Thank you both for sharing your scenes. Again, just for anybody listening at home that might want to go buy the books and stock up their TBR pile. The books were Beyond Control by Kit Rocha and Stanton Adore by T.L. Swan. You can find them wherever books are sold. Ladies, this has been delightful. Why don't you each tell everybody where they can find and follow you for more?
Okay, so you can find me at RebeccaHefner.com, and then I also have AylaAsher.com, which is AYLA Asher.com. That's my contemporary romance pen name. So either one of those, although Rebecca Hefner is my primary author name. And I'm on all of the social media platforms. I have 3 TikTok accounts. Someone please rescue me.
I just followed you today, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yay, awesome. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Someone please save me from social media. You can find me everywhere.
I am at Ariana Reads Books on Instagram and TikTok. That's it for right now. I'm trying to keep it conservative. But yeah, come find me, say hi, and come check me out. We'll talk. We could talk about group sex and Katy Perry.
That's great.
A great combination.
And makeup, yes.
And makeup.
Yay. Okay, you can find me, Kat. I have a Facebook group, Kat's Romance Readers. I have Facebook, Kat Reads Romance, and then I have TikTok, which is Kat Reads Romance, and Instagram, which is Kat Reads Romance, and of course, my YouTube channel, Kat Reads Romance.
Kat Reads Romance across the board.
Yeah.
Good branding.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. You're lucky. You get those accounts. You get them early.
Yeah, I did.
Nice. Well, this has been such a treat. Thank you all for helping me kick off Slick Summer Nights in such a fun way. And for everybody listening, I will be sure to pop in, all of the guests' info into today's show notes so you can find and follow them. If, for some reason you didn't have a pencil handy to write down where to follow them while listening. And because we all carry pencils around, right? And this has been so fun. Stay tuned for more Slick Summer Nights heading your way for the rest of the month. And ladies, thank you for sharing your smexy scenes with all of us.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, until next time, more Katy Perry and group sex. Go.
Yes.
Thanks so much for listening. Boobies and Noobies is part of the Frolic Podcast Network. Find more podcasts you'll love at frolic.media/podcasts. You can follow Boobies and Noobies on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Boobies Podcast.